Hello, hello everyone. Good evening or good day, depending on where you are. Let me see where I am. I can find myself. Why doesn't this work the way I want it to? Yes, I found myself. Now let's see if I can see your comments. Yes, I can see you. Hello everyone. Good evening everybody. Let me see. Belgium, Illinois. Ha, it's been a long time and I'm really excited to get going tonight. Maryland, New Hampshire, California. It's so cool that you are from all over the world. Really great. Well, let's get started. What are we going to do tonight? I'm going to make a journal page in my Square Traveler notebook from the Art Journal Specials. As you probably know, I'm one of the design team members for the Art Journal Specials. And so I want to show you how I make a page in one of my journals. Well, I'm from Holland and it's winter over here, but the weather feels like fall or autumn. It's raining, it's windy, it's wet. So I found a hellebore, a winter rose in my garden a few days ago. That's this picture. And I am so looking forward to spring. So I thought, let's make a page. And I got the idea from one of the members on the Elizabeth family page or the planner and journal page. I couldn't find it anymore, but she made a porthole, and I saw that was so much fun, so I had the idea to make kind of a window with on one side a wintry scene and on the other side a more spring feeling scene. Yes, I did. The circle page. But I'm gonna use it in a different way because I'm gonna show you what I did. Let me get my stuff. And well, these are on the table because I'm gonna use these to color the die cuts I made. And I think I'm using only the Sparkling Winter Release to show you that it's not just suitable for winter, but for spring, summer, whenever you want to use it. So let's put these aside. I'm gonna use them later. Cute little butterflies. Well, I have an idea in my head and I hope it works out. Normally it does, but once in a while things don't work out. So what I did, I just cut a page. I didn't use the die for this because it was easier to just cut the page in a rectangle. So when it folds together, it will fit in the journal. and that's the base. Then I die cut this part 2 times out of paper, of which I'm gonna make the portholes from. Well, they're not actually portholes because it has nothing to do with the sea or a ship, but you know what I mean. So this is gonna be the idea. So you have a window where you can look through. This part of the page will be wintry, and the inside will be more of a spring feeling. And since when you die cut this page, it isn't exactly a full circle, I just used a paper and put it through the die cutting machine like this far. And then I turned, since you got this part on the paper, and then I turned it around, just like this, to cut that part off and make a perfect circle. So I did that twice. So you have these circles, but they don't have a hole in it. And since I wanted to be the hole on the exact place so that it would fit perfectly, I taped this one on here with some washi, this one on here with some washi, and then used the small circle, placed it in the middle, stuck it down with some washi tape, and then run it through my die cutting machine a few times so the holes perfectly align. And I'm sure my page will close and the border of the circle doesn't get in the way of closing my page. And these 3 parts you can use for something else, because we are not going to need them tonight. So that's how I made my base page for tonight. Let me see for the comments if I missed something. Let me see. Yes, Cora, I think we're all looking for a bit of spring. Cindy says we hit 30 overnight here. That's too cold. I'm assuming that's not 30 degrees Celsius, but it's Fahrenheit. Yes, because she's replying to Belinda that says 86. So that's not Celsius, I'm assuming, because otherwise she would be bald by now. Femke says, I planted a purple think Helleborus at the end of last year. Well, we planted 3 in our garden, and last year one of my children was helping me get rid of some plants in the garden that didn't belong there, and he took out that one as well. So when it started blooming again, I was very happy because I thought it was gone. So that's why I took a picture. Let me see if I missed any other comments. Let me see, I'm almost there. Fahrenheit indeed. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to make the winter part of the page, and since well, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to name it a porthole, even though it's not. I'm gonna decorate this part, because the rest of the page, of course the center will be filled when we are going to decorate this part, but the rest of the page is very small, so I don't know if I'm gonna start, when I will start with that, the page will be too full, too busy. So that's why I will start with this side. So I put this aside. And I thought, since this was going to be the more wintry scene, I would use the winter stencils to just put some white snowflakes on there for that wintry feeling. And I'm going to put my craft sheet under here. Well, I know, Sylvia, it's supposed to bloom in winter, but when flowers start to bloom, it gives me a spring feeling, so that was the only real bloom, real flower in my area, so that's why, well, at least that's why I got the idea. This is a paper texture paste. It's like shaving foam, and it's one of my favorite pastes to use. I'm sorry for the shine on my craft sheet. If it bothers you too much, just let me know. You just apply the texture paste. It doesn't matter what you use. You can do this with paint or with distress ink through the stencil as well. That's that part. And now the second part. I always feel like a little child when I use this texture paste, because it feels like shaving foam. And it reminds me of time when I was little and we were making those plastic bags with shaving foam and some dishwash wash soap in it. We called it smurfersnot. I don't think it's translatable to English. Let me see, where are my wet towels? And of course, if you don't have the papers from the art journal specials, you could use white cardstock and color them. I chose one of the blue papers from last year's release, so that it would give me a more, well, frosted feeling. Remove the little bits over here, and this is what it will look like. I think I'm gonna put some snowflakes behind there as well. Just cleaning my craft sheet. Well, we are going to let this air dry, and I will put some stamps in there. And I want this one is the part over here is pink, and I don't like that because that doesn't match with the winter theme, so I will color that white just with a pencil and some white gesso. Let me see if there are any questions. No, not Schmuth and Schloss, Cindy. Smurfensnot. It's like, I think you know them in America at least as well. Those little tiny blue Smurfs, I think they're called. and it's like when you sneeze, you have some, I don't know what that's called in English. Some, well, whatever, that's the stuff that comes out of your nose. That's how it felt. The bag with shaving foam and the dishwash soap. As a child, it was really fun to just squishing it around in the bag. So whenever and my husband doesn't use shaving foam because he has an electric shaving device. So whenever I use that texture paste, it always makes me remember that part of it. So that is white. And now we are going to dry that so we can stamp on it. It doesn't matter if the pink part comes a little bit through, but not just as much as it was. And in the meantime, I will get my blue ink. Brown, red, green, every color except blue. And yes, that's blue. And where is my... Oh, no thanks, Elsa. I love to do lives. Now, this is dry. And since we are in the snowflakes, I think I will use one of the stamps from this. It's called the Journal Your December stamp set. And there are 2 little snowflake stamps in there. So I will use those. And since this is pigment ink, I will put a napkin under it so I won't get it on my desk, because I can't remove it. Let me take the dry one. Sorry, a bit out of frame, I think. That's one. And now the other snowflake. Let me see if I missed any comments. Comments are going really fast. What's the brand of the paste? It's the paper texture paste from Finalizing. It's one of my favorites. Okay, now the other blue color, it's a little bit more brighter blue. this. Yes, that's enough. Before gesso, that's the texture paste. Does it take long for the paste to air dry? No, it doesn't. And I will show you in a minute. Since it's not a smooth paste, it's a bit bumpy when it dries. Well, you're not supposed to heat it with a heat tool, but I do, and it doesn't get as puffy when you heat it like a normal smooth texture paste would. When you heat a normal texture paste, most texture paste you have to let air dry. I'm an impatient crafter, so I basically heat dry everything because I don't have that much time. I love crackle paste, but you can't heat dry that, so that's why I don't use it so often, because it takes forever to get dry and crackle. But this paste, it's a bit wet still. I don't know if you can see it. I hope my camera's in frame. Let me see if I can show you the texture of the paste. Yes, camera picks it up. And I will show you what happens when I heat dry it. I will put my craft mat underneath here because my desk sheet doesn't love the heat as much, so it will get bubbly, so sorry for the shimmer again. The name of the stamp set is the Journal Your December. And I think a link was placed in the chat already, and otherwise you can find it at the Elizabeth Crafts website or the artjournalspecials.com site. Every stamp, stencil or die cutting set of the Art Journal Specials is on the special website, artjournalspecials.com. You can't buy anything there, but you can see what products are available in a certain release. Since I mix and match everything, I very often have all my dies on the table together, and I use that site, well, almost practically every day to put them back in the right set again. So now it's dry, and it doesn't get very hard. It's, well, depending on how thick you put it on. Well, I like it. I will show you that it's not puffed or anything. The texture stays the same. That's why it's one of my favorite texture paste, because you can heat dry it. I would love to go to the beach. Well, it's not as... I have another texture paste as well. That feels like there's sand in it. This doesn't. It feels rough, but it's not like with corals. What's corals called in English? The hard parts in it. I don't know how to describe it. Well, that's this part. So I think this part will be done. Perhaps in the end I will place some die cuts on here. And since it's a porthole or a window, I will put some acetate in here. So that you will actually have the feeling of a window. But I can cut the acetate on the right size already. And it doesn't have to be perfect because my porthole is big enough for a big double-sided tape strip. Like so, and we have kind of a circle. I'm not gonna tape this on here already because I will do this on one of the last parts because otherwise I'm afraid when I'm going to spray and stuff with the inks, the distress inks, that I might actually color this, so I will put this one aside for a bit until the page is ready to be assembled. Let me see, that part is done. Now we are going to decorate the inside. Put my scissors aside. Grit, that was the word. Thank you. Yeah, it looks a bit snowy indeed, Femke. Let me see if I... Let me see. Grid, yes, gritty grid. Thanks, guys. There's a big delay on when I see the comments, and I think when I ask what the word was, but grid indeed. Okay. The inside I wanted to use, since I have a lot of it and I don't use it enough, I wanted to use heat embossing powder, and this one I have for a very long time, and I actually never, well, I think I used it once, but I thought it would be fun to use it to make some flower stems on the inside porthole. Sorry, I'm sitting on a chair and my cat is with me on the same chair. He always sits at my back when I'm crafting, so I can't move around as much as I want to because he's in the way. Let me see. Well, you don't have to do this, but since I'm a messy crafter, I always have the embossing powder stuck to the parts of the page where I don't want it. So this one can get out of the way. I will use this, I don't know what you call it, it's kind of powdery dust, so that the embossing powder will just stick on the part where I want it to. Where is my clear block? Here it is. Yes, Kitty wants attention. It's my son's cat. We have two cats. My daughter has a black and white one, and my son has a red one. And the red one is the perfect children's cat. He always wants to cuddle. And He always wants to sit near you or on your lap. And he always wants attention, and when I'm crafting, he always is in my room. Mostly on my chair, sometimes on my lap, so that I can't craft anymore. But it's always very cozy. So this stamp set is an older one, but still one of my favorites. It's called The First Sights of Spring. So since it's a bit of a spring page, I thought that was fitting to use that one. Now to use, I hope this will work, since it's been a long time since I've used it. Ha! It actually worked. This is one of the reasons why I don't use this as much, because no matter how big the paper is that I put under it, my whole desk is always glittery and shiny, and I can't seem to get this without making a mess of my desk. But hey, that's part of crafting, right? Since there are a few big chunks, I'm gonna heat it from the back side first, and I'm not gonna use my heat gun. I'm gonna use an embossing tool, so I will stop talking because it makes a little bit more noise, but otherwise you can't hear me talk, so sorry, just takes a few minutes. Yep, that's right. Yeah, it's kind of a thicker embossing powder, and it has some shiny and some bigger parts in it. So normally I would just heat it from the top side, but since the sparkles and the thicker parts are too heavy, they will blow away, so you have to melt them a little bit onto the paper first. So that's why I heated it from the back side first. So it is stuck a little bit to the paper, and then you can heat it from the top side to make it melt all the way. I didn't know there was so much shimmer in it, but I will have to use this more often. I really like it. Okay, that is permanent. Yes, I know, David. I know the problem. Emboss. Well, I don't have that much glitter. Because the problem with glitter is even more. Every time I open the jar, it just flies out of the jar. And embossing powder, I really like embossing powder, but I always have the feeling that half of the jar is ending up on the floor or in my trash can. Well, it's part of my problem with embossing powder, but I really like it, but I just don't use it that much because of that. Okay, that is the let me see if I missed anything. Yes, Femke, I always sit on the tip of my chair, not trying to slide off. Exactly. And if you hear some snoring sound on the background, that is my cat snoring behind me because I move all the time. Well, this is the inside part, and I will add a few butterflies later on. So, and now I'm going to make the right page, and that will be the part where what you see if you look through the winter porthole. So you look outside and it looks like spring. Well, I wanted to put the picture of the hellebore right in here, and this is a picture frame from the Picture It collection. It's from the set, oh, I'm so bad at names, Polaroid page, of course. That's logical since it's Polaroid dye. And it just gives you this frame. On here I wanted to use some flowers that I die cut as well. Those flowers and branches, and also the small butterflies which are on here, and I die cut here some as well, are from the, I can't read my own handwriting, bubble flower die set from the Sparkling Winter collection. Those are the flowers. And I love to watercolor those, but since I want to use a lot, that takes a lot of time. And I did a different project last week. Sorry, had to take a sip of coffee. And I used one of my favorite mixed media products. That's the distress sprays. There are two kinds. The oxide sprays, which are more matte of color and not as vibrant, a bit chalky. And the spray stain. These are in pads as well, the distress oxide pads, like these. Exactly the same color, just in liquid form. And the distress spray stains are the same colors as the inks. And I really, really like these. But they're kind of messy, so I will take this out of the way. Get my craft sheet in here again. And first of all, I wanted to use a bright color for some of the butterflies I wanted to stamp. Normally I spray in a big box, but that doesn't fit under my camera, so that's why I'm using a few paper towels, because these splatter a bit. The spray stains you don't have to shake. You just can spray them on the paper and dry them. Sorry, David. And this week I posted one of my pages on the groups as well, on the family and the planner page, and on the Journal with Us page as well. Because since I'm using this as a background, don't throw these away. You can use these as a background. The paper towels, when you use spray inks, you see you get beautiful colors and texture. When you rip these apart, it's like napkins, so you can glue them in your journal and use them as a background. So don't throw them away. Just use them. I will show you the part I use in a bit. When it takes too long, I just dip it off. Roelie, niet één spray? Oh. Moet je echt doen. Het is heel verslavend. I can't live without my sprays. I think I love the sprays even more than my ink pads. Well, since I'm a messy crafter, when you use sprays, your hands will get dirty. So if you are a clean crafter, you probably won't like sprays. This part I will die cut some butterflies out later. Now I will color my little butterflies and flowers to match my photo frame. And I don't know if I want these colors. Oh, Femke. Yes, you should, Els. I love sprays. And the fun part, I'm shaking these because these have pigment and the oxide in them. So you can see at the bottom, when you put them upside down, I store them like this. I don't know how you call it. It sticks to the bottom, so you have to shake them a little bit. The fun part about these sprays is that you can dye paper with these. You can watercolor with these. You can stamp with these. When you spray some on your desk, on your craft mat, you can just put your stamp in there and stamp with them. You can use them with stencils. They're so much fun. And not just the distress oxide sprays, every spray. I have multiple sprays from multiple brands. I just like these colors for this page, so that's why I'm... Yeah, probably that's why I love them so much, David, because they're so messy and I'm a messy crafter. And I love the fact that you never get the same result. So you think you are going to make a glue page, but instead it turns out completely different. And since they are oxide sprays, I sprayed a little bit water on them for some extra, the color changes a little bit, and you can you can see the water drops in the paint. You can smoosh in them. Yes, Sandy, that's the fun in it. It's a surprise every time. And every time you mix and match some colors, you will get a different color. Well, they're not so much spraying technique else. It's just getting the fluid on the paper. So when you hear some talking on the background, I think my daughter is online as well. Just a minute. So I think I like this, and I had the idea to give these the same colors, but I think it will be too boring. So I want some different colors for the flowers and for my grass bits. Oh, first I'm gonna spray my butterflies. Some pink and a few blues. The soft blue. Sorry for the mess on my craft table. Oh, I'm really surprised that most of you don't have sprays, or, well, I'd love to do a live about it sometimes. I love sprays, so you can do so much with them and use them on so many different materials and ways. To be careful that I don't melt my photo. Well, those are cute. Perhaps I will leave them white. Or should I? Let me think, what should we do? Well, before I decide anything, I will stamp this frame, because there's a matching stamp set which fits exactly on this photo frame. So put these aside for a bit. So I promised you I'd show you my page where I used the napkins. Yes, Anna or Anne, I love the mica sprays. still on the hunt for the Halloween set, but it's sold out. So I posted this page earlier this week, and this part and the part over here is hope you can see it. It's just kitchen paper, the same one I used here, just as a part of a background, that I used kitchen paper as a mat, just like I used this one. And I just tore the paper off, and it exists from multiple layers. So you have, when you tear this piece off like this, you can see there are multiple layers in here. So you even have more than one paper to use. So don't throw these away when you're done. Let me see, where did I put my stamp set that I wanted to use on my frame? Here it is. This is the stamp set embellishment one. It's also from the Picture It collection, and I used it a lot, as you can see. And it exactly fits the die. Like so. Only problem is that you have to put it exactly in the right place, but hey. That won't be a problem, right? I hope. Otherwise I have to make another one. Like so. Sorry if my head is in frame, but otherwise I'm gonna do this a little bit off frame, you guys, otherwise I can't see if I put the stamp on the right place on the frame. And then just push. I think I'm a little bit off center, but that doesn't matter. And ta-da! That turned out really cute. So that's that part, and Esther has a stamp set as well with the word spring in it. It's called the Planner Essentials stamp number 213, the Home and Nature. And if I calculated it right, let me see. Is it upside down? Yes, it is. So we are going to turn it around. If I measured it correctly, it will just fit in here perfectly, like it was made for it. It's like mix and match. It's every collection. I love that. So easy to use. Okay, now we're gonna stick the photo down. Let's put a little block. stick so well it sticks to my finger. This is always a tricky part. Normally I would leave one side on, but every time I want to show something I do things differently than I normally do. I don't know why that is, but hey, this works as well. So now we have the photo ready. And since the most part of the stamping and gluing is done, I can put my window in. And I will tape it on the back side. Am I still in frame? I hope so. Let me see if I missed something. Yes, Catherine, well, this one is thin enough to rip with my finger, but I see everyone tearing this tape with their fingers, and they do it perfectly. I can't do that. I always rip my paper, or the tape is too long or it's too short. And a while back I saw, it was on YouTube, I saw someone using a clear block just to tear the tape. And ever since I do that, and it's so easy. You can use a big or a small clear block, doesn't matter. Yes, it makes a really nice straight line, Jan, and Jen. The advantage is that you can actually really cut it at the edge of your paper. Where is my acetate? Here it is. Just stick it on there. Now I have to peel all these off. Stick to my fingers. The other one I'm going to glue down with glue, but since glue and acetate will shift a bit because glue is smooth, on this part I used tape which sticks to my hand. And the last part. Come on. Actually, I have to make sure. That I stick it down perfectly. Like so. Okay. Going to get rid of these. Now the front part. Where's my glue? Oh, my glue's stuck. Where's my glue stuck? I used it this afternoon. Yes, Sue. I have a selfie printer, just the regular one. I know there's a selfie square as well. But I use a lot of pictures for my planner, for my memory planner. And I got it for my birthday 2 years ago. And I think it was one of the best presents I ever got. It's a lot of money. I know it's expensive, but that is not supposed to stick out that far. Did I? Yes, I put it down the wrong way. That's why I normally use glue for these kinds of things, so I can reposition it. With tape it's just stuck. But on acetate it's too slippery, so when I use acetate I always use tape. Like so. That's that part. Now we I have the butterflies, and I'm still figuring out First I'm gonna die cut some butterflies, some brighter colors to brighten it up a little bit. Like so. Sorry, my camera might just move a bit. Hope it's stable. And 2 more. I always love to reuse small pieces of paper, and the small dies from the Art Journal Specials. There are a lot of them in the Sparkling Winter collection. It is so much fun to use, just adding just that little extra to your page. These are the little butterfly dies. So now I have some vibrant butterflies to add to my page for a little bit spice. And a little bit more spring feeling. I want to make sure that the butterflies don't overlap the acetate, because otherwise you will see the white back side when I close the page. Okay guys, what do you think? Should I give the flowers the same color? Should I leave them white, or should I use a more vibrant color to spice it up a bit? What do you think? Tell me, because I don't know. Let me see. Color different. Color black. Well, black is a bit too harsh. Vibrant pink. They got lost when they're white. Color. Bit. Color. Okay, so everyone's for color. We are going to use color. And since we have pinks and blues, I will get my flamingo distress. Kitsch flamingo. That is vibrant and pink, so it will, oh, sorry kitty, match my colors of my page. Because I don't like when pages are too colorful. Well, I like it, but it's not my style. Wonder if this isn't too pink, but hey, we will make it a different color if I don't like it. I think it will turn out okay. Well, let me see if this is bright enough or if I have to. No, I like this. And I don't like that one over there. So, let me see. Yes, I like this. Thank you guys. Yes, I think we are done. So, gluing it down. There's something stuck in my... glue bottle. That's way too much glue. That part doesn't need glue on it because it sticks out of the page a bit. Like so. Then we glue our photo down, and I'm going to use tape because it's a picture. Wait a second, get this out of the way. So we lose the shimmer. so. And then we put our butterflies back in. If I can get it off my table. Put this one here. Did I just glue by butterfly? No, there it is. Really sweet page. I love the soft and vibrant colors. Really gives me a spring feeling. I'm gonna use these a little bit. Do we want to put that butterfly somewhere? No, I think we're done. Okay, I think the summer part is done. Why does my butterfly come off? You stay there. Like so. And I would love if I could find my snow marker, just to add a little bit snow to the window for a little bit frosted feeling. Do I have it? Yes, I found it actually. Let's see if it's clear. Ooh, yes it is. Sorry, when I'm drawing lines, it's very hard to talk. I don't know if you know that problem. But I'm concentrating on making my line as round and neat as possible. So it's like talking and writing. When I'm talking and writing, I write down what I'm saying instead of what I was supposed to write down. Do you know that? Perhaps I will add something more on the front because I think it's a bit boring, but sometimes you have to let it rest a bit and then look at it the next day to make sure that it's okay. So let me look at the comments. Thank you everyone for the nice comments. The snowy accent is still a bit wet. This is the page, how it turned out. So wintry on the one side, to watch out that I don't touch the and spring feeling on the inside. I hope you liked the idea. Tomorrow when everything is dry, I will post a picture on the group so you can see a little bit better. I hope you liked it. I hope I gave you some inspiration to use your dies from the Art Journal specials on a different way, and so that you don't have to use them just during winter, but you can use them in summer or spring as well. See you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.